Regarding the rapid increase in the migrant population, how will you ensure that every immigrant is integrated into American society safely? What benefits and subsidies will you provide them with, and how long will these benefits and subsidies last for an individual? Most importantly, will the American citizens' taxes pay for these benefits and subsidies? And if so, how much money will be allocated?
All right. Well, I will leave the originals in the description as usual. We're going to stop and start just to let you know. Like, comment, subscribe. I know I haven't been saying that, but let's listen into how Vice President Harris addresses this direct question. How much is it going to cost? What are we going to do about immigration? Let's see what comes of this.
Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken and
Describing the problem. You know, this is what she does, right? Yeah, we know this. All right.
needs to be fixed, and it's been broken for a long time. And
Not my problem.
part of what we need to do is always prioritize what we need to do to strengthen our border. I will tell you, I'm the only person in this race among the two choices that voters have. I've personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations.
This is a red herring. Why? Because border crossings were at an all-time low under Donald Trump's presidency. He never prosecuted any. That's not the point. The point of this is not what you've done in your past that you think qualifies you to handle this, because we have already seen Donald Trump's presidency. He was president from 2017 to 2021, actually 2021. So we know what he's going to do. We've already seen it. We've seen you as vice president and border czar handpicked by Joe Biden to handle the border, and it has been records on the other end. You see, this is what we're asking. What are you gonna do as president? We've already seen what you've done as vice president, and it has been a failure. What are you going to do as president that would make us think that it would be any different? Oh, you've prosecuted border. Who cares? Nobody cares. As vice president, you've been a disaster.
The trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career making sure that our border is secure and that we do not allow criminals in. And
wait a minute. What about the last 3.5? That's what we want to know. Okay, in California, whatever you did in California, great, blah, blah, blah. Since 2021 to today, records, 10 million. The numbers are there. What are you going to do, and how much is this going to cost? This young man, that's what we're asking. How will you integrate immigrants into U.S. society safely? What benefits will you give them, and at what cost to taxpayers? That's the question. This is the worst thing. I said it on my Facebook page. This is the worst thing they did, because now we see the question and we can see where she's not answering.
We don't allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our country. And as my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer to run on the problem instead of fix the problem. Hardworking people to earn citizenship and do it in a comprehensive, humane.
Now, this is the end of that same question, but pay attention to what Anderson Cooper is going to do here. This is great. Let me raise up the volume just a taste.
In an orderly manner.
Let me ask you about that. I mean, you talk about the bill that Donald Trump quashed. That was in 2024. You talk about the bill he tried to get passed in 2021. That wasn't able to get passed. 2022, 2023, there were record border crossings. Your administration took hundreds of executive actions. It didn't stem the flow. Numbers kept going up. Finally, in 2024, just in June, 3 weeks before the first presidential debate with Joe Biden, you institute executive actions that had a dramatic impact, really shut down people crossing over. Why didn't your administration do that in 2022, 2023?
Why? That's the question we want to know. Why? Because they'll put it on Trump and they'll say, well, she said it. He killed the border bill that we were about to try to pass because of partisanship. Now, Anderson Cooper is asking, okay, in 2021 and 2022, you could have done more, because we know what you could have done, because you did it right around election season. You did it. So why couldn't you do it before? Let's see what she has to say.
First of all, you're exactly right, Anderson. And as of today, we have cut the flow of immigration by over half. In fact, the numbers I saw most recently, illegal immigration
But if
is
it was
low.
that
But hold
easy
on,
with
let me
that
finish.
executive action, why not do it in 2022, 2023?
Come on, you can't. You could. What can you say to this? If it was that easy and you fixed the problem, you fixed it. Why didn't you do it before?
Because we were working with Congress and hoping that actually we could have a long-term fix to the problem instead of a short-term fix.
You couldn't have done
Get your short term. He about to ask the same question I'm asking. I'm gonna let him ask.
one and both at the same time?
Well, here's the thing. We have to understand that ultimately this problem is going to be fixed through congressional action. Congress has the authority and the purse. I hate to use DC terms, but literally they write the checks.
Yeah, she can't answer this question because if she answers it truthfully, death knell to her campaign. Let's move on.
I mean, you did raise your hand saying in a debate when asked if border crossing should be decriminalized, but obviously that is not your position.
I never intended, nor will I ever allow America to have a border that is not secure. I believe we need to deal with illegal immigration.
Wait, what? What? What's been going on for the past 2 or 3? 10 million record border crossings. You said it. You raised your hand for decriminalization, and that's how you governed. You decriminalized it. Now that's why the records have happened. There's no criminality in it. You even have people who openly state that illegal immigration, the right is casting all illegal immigrants as criminals. Yes, because it's illegal to cross the border. Once you have crossed the border, you are a criminal. You've crossed illegally. You've broken the laws. No matter what other crimes you commit while you're here illegally. You've already committed one.
There needs to be consequences, which is why part of my plan that I have outlined, and again, please go to KamalaHarris.com. Sorry to throw a website on you, but why not? And you will see that part of my plan includes what we need to do to actually do more as it relates to putting resources in, including increasing penalties.
Is there something you can point to in your...
Now, this is a great question he's about to ask her. Let's listen to this.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life or in your life in the last 4 years, that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
Now, this is a great question because she just said that they could have stemmed the tide. Well, he just pointed out that they could have stemmed the tide with executive action earlier, and they chose not to do it. This would be a great time for her to admit that, you know what, we could have done those executive actions earlier, and it would have stemmed the tide, and we wouldn't have the amount of illegals we have in now. Some people may not have lost their lives, but if she admits this, she's not going to take responsibility. That's not what she's going to do.
I mean, I've made many mistakes, and they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes too. In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question. Mm-hmm. So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes, because I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, I confess.
I don't understand why people think that she's going to be a good president. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't. I just don't. I don't.
Some voters, though, might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
This is a great question. And this is the question. You want us to vote for you. The past 3.5 years have been a disaster. why, and you've been vice president, and the things that you've been tasked with doing have been a part of that unmitigated disaster. And you said that you've been in the war room, the situation room, and behind almost every policy that Joe Biden's administration has administered or enforced. And we're somehow supposed to think that your administration will be different. And you're actually more radical in some areas than he is. You're more of a Marxist than he is. So why do we think that things would get better? So we've leaned into Marxism and communism and socialism and all these isms, and things have gotten worse. You're more idealistically progressive than Joe Biden is. So what makes us think that you're not just lying to us to get votes, which is something you've already proven that you're willing to do?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
Regarding
So that's it. Essentially, there's more to be done. Here's the crazy thing. They reversed everything good that Trump had done. Broke it, and now they're trying to fix it. And they want us to, I broke this stuff and now I'm going to fix it. Give us 4 more years to fix all the stuff we broke that wasn't broken when we got into office. Make this make sense to me, please. Again, thank you to all the members and financial supporters. Until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Bye.